Hello, world. This is very odd a little bit by myself right now, just because I'm used to having somebody with me. But if you don't know me, I am Miles. I'm the other half of Let's Have a Booba. And today, we're going to set some intentions for conlanging. I have a little document, and kind of what's going to be happening is you and I will create a little bare bones language sketch that I will probably put the link into this video below. I did try to do it beforehand, and then I realized that it's probably not great to have like 75 people in the document all at once, just in case somebody wanted to follow along the document. That's just what things are, I guess. But I think we're going to have a good time. So let's see if people are here. Jonathan is here. I believe it should redirect. I don't know. I tried to do something like it. I could not try in the settings to get it to work. So we'll see if this just somehow, some way. Oh, yes, it got redirected. Okay, good. I think it just needed to be a time sort of difference. It always tells me to kind of start a little early. So people are kind of hopefully joining in here. Yes, hooray, people are here. Okay, so just to kind of give my preface again, since we're always going to be kind of like a little bit of a lag. If you are here, hi, I am Miles. If you do not know me, it seems like many people here have mentioned me by name, so that's wonderful. Yeah, I was with Jerry as well. Jerry is the GOAT. Jerry is wonderful. I'm glad that he could vocalize his needs. It's very important. But yeah, today, kind of for like the next hour or so, we're going to kind of create a little language sketch together. This is sort of the process that I take on when I sort of create a new language or want to kind of do something a little bit more different, just kind of keep my head in like I guess friggin' spry, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a little bit of my step process. I'm going to share my screen. I am going to post the document in the link below the video once we kind of conclude the stream. It's going to be a good time. I'm very excited about it. Something in the meet tab needs my attention. What needs my attention? Am I still there? Yeah, girl, I'm still here. I'm talking. That was bizarre. But yeah, so with that all being said, I'm finally going to share my screen. And this is sort of the sample template that I always use when I start new languages. I might have to change. This happened last time. Oh, am I back? Yeah. So I'm in my office, so it might be weird. If it does it again, I know this is me. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to strike. Is my screen sharing at all? Let's go live. Do you see something that is a document? I'm back. Yes. Hello. That was very weird. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, just thank you, Craig. I think it registered once. I might have to go change locations, but hopefully we see a document. At least I see one. Oh, yay! Okay. So yeah, we are definitely in lag central. That is plenty fine. This is a little paragraph I kind of have at the beginning of this document, just kind of keep me set of just like, this might just not keep. So I definitely am in the boat of the starter and the scrapper. So I tend to like really like starting new languages, and when I don't have anything to attach it to, that's when it kind of dives down a little bit. So this is just kind of like keeping me accountable for, like, maybe if I do not create this to some degree, it's going to be okay. It's still a good life lesson to have tried and experimented rather than to never have done. So it's always kind of good to kind of brush up on skills. So when we're thinking about the intention, the first step, of course, is we're making a language. So some people have to speak it. You can have it be humans. You can have it be little alien people. You can have it be human-alien hybrids. You can have it be crab people. You can have it be Jerry. You can have it be anybody you really want, as long as they are able to, I guess, project some sort of meaning in either a sound, or if you want to do a signed language, in the motions that I guess would need to be expressed. We're going to focus on oral language because that tends to be where the conlangs do tend to be the most majority, and where I have a lot of more of my expertise than the sign languages. It would be very fun to do so, but I'm going to say these are human speakers, just to kind of keep things a little bit, I guess, in the range of possible in naturalism land. And then kind of thinking about where these people are going to live. So kind of like the overall like geography and climate, and that sort of deal. So we can kind of think about, I guess, what sort of where tell me here, I guess, what's sort of around them, what sort of resources, what sort of experiences that they have. And I think this is now a great chance to, yeah, we definitely do need a Jerry Lang people. I see a lot of people that I'm just familiar with, so I'm saying hello, hello. I'm gonna kind of, yeah, we can totally do some cricket worshiping humans. I think that would be totally, totally awesome. This is where I'm going to kind of have some audience feedback. Is there a geography? Is there some sort of climate that is really kind of speaking out to you? I guess we need some sort of cricket god. I think that would make sense. But our geography does need to be conducive for crickets. I guess that could be anywhere, right? Because I guess there's a lot of like crickets there. I think there's like be a little more humid crickets. I think the hotter the humidity of the atmosphere, the more the louder the cricket noise will be. Des Viper said a tropical climate, we can totally go down that. Let's see if we have some seconds and thirds for that. But definitely something tropical. I'm feeling it. That is definitely in a humid sort of realm for sure. Basically, anywhere that's not frozen, absolutely. Oh, I'm sure there is getting crickets. Oh, crickets all distributed all around the world have latitude 50, with the greatest diversity being in the tropics. So I definitely think now, with that being said, we're going to move sort of like the tropical climate. Maybe let's add some mountains and some hills and rivers. Just we have a little thing here. Let's see, cricket god. Let's say there's like plenty of cricket species. And the Chongo one wins out. Great. So I think we have an idea of maybe where they live. We won't kind of, I guess, how do I phrase this? Get into the nitty-gritty yet, but this is just a good baseline. We're not trying to, I guess, overflow us with these goals that we may not meet. I just want to kind of get us at least some framework as to what's going on in terms of our language here. Cave crickets can be the evil gods. I love that. That is I'll put that down. We'll do cave crickets. Dark. So after we kind of think about where the climate is, I'm going to say this is more kind of like inland, some islands. I'm going to think of, if I can get that guy going. Yeah, nice. No, I need you. I'm thinking of San Luis. So that's kind of in northern Brazil a little bit, kind of along the delta of the Amazon. It's kind of this little island. There's some beautiful little dunes next to it, and it's going to kind of, I guess, kind of frame me in for inspiration. So now we kind of have, I guess, an idea of where we're at. The important part is the what. So I always think about, now that we have human people, more or less, that tends to kind of be my judge, but any sort of, I guess, figures that you have, they have to survive somehow. So there needs to be food, not foot. They will have feet, don't worry. They need to be shelter. And they, of course, need to have like some sort of like environment, village, settlement sort of thing. And this kind of plays into last, if you were a part of that, with the architecture. So I kind of give like two little tips. And tip one is one that I tend to do a lot more than tip two. And that's kind of like building out a food web. So I have desperately wanted to kind of have like a color-coded like producers, consumers, decomposers, but somehow the humans need to eat something. The things that the humans are eating need to be ate, and the things that are eating everybody else need to somehow die and eat the dead things. So usually when I kind of do this, I will think of like plants first, then some sort of like fish or other animals, and then some sort of like mushroom or insects or worms, and that kind of vibe. So thinking about what our little humans will eat first and foremost. What sort of, hi Carl, welcome. What sort of how do I phrase this? What sort of plants should our people eat? What sort of kind of starches and grains are we thinking in the tropics? We could go a rice route. We could go some sort of, I don't know what the rice is. Well, that's your that full vibe, McCain, is starting with Al and going from there. I think a rice culture is kind of speaking to me a little bit. So let's say they're going to have a lot of rice, and then I'll put Yautia. That's a New World sort of taro plant. I know the accent goes on there, and that will kind of be like our leafy green and kind of like root. And then let's say they're going to have kind of like fish, definitely as like a means to eat. And of course, there can be other sort of plants that I could kind of think of. We kind of go into more depth, but I do want to kind of get into like the language vibe first. Something else needs to eat the Yautia, like the leaves. So maybe we can think of some sort of like rodent vibe. Let's put a little capybara. They're always nice to have. And then we'll put like a little shrew mouse, some sort of like field mouse sort of thing. And then because my type is here, I'll put owl that will eat the field mouse, and let's say some sort of bird of prey. Actually, no. Let's say we have a snack that's going to. Oh no, something beeped. Why are we beeping? Something in the meat tab needs my attention. I'm going to dismiss you. Yes, capybara, plantains, and bananas. Bevilia, I love that idea. Let's do some plantains. And then we'll do some banana. And then Not sure. Do monkeys eat, like in nature? Do they eat bananas? We're speed running this. We're gonna have a monkey, and then of course we need a word for cricket. Small, cricket, huge. Let's say we have night crawlers, and then we have like a fungus. So somehow, some way, the food web is kind of getting us some roots essentially, and that's kind of the goal. Is that like these are the most important things that these people will interact with. So having native roots for these is going to be essential. But human food. Tip number 2 is kind of, if you are focusing less on the kind of the edibles and more on the society, you could do, say, like a village map. So if you kind of imagine more or less how the speaker is living, what is their home situation like, where they live. I usually kind of just have a word for a house or a dwelling. I usually make it like a dwelling. I only know what sort of, say, architecture that it is. Of course, we can have a long house and have everybody kind of cram in there. A hearth is always a good thing